This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next-day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Have you ever wanted to dive deeper into the horror movies you love? Beyond the Blood is a horror podcast for fans who want more than just surface-level screams. We do deep dives into the movies that shaped us, digging into director commentaries, behind-the-scenes stories, deleted scenes, and the special features that most people skip. Each episode is a love letter to the genre. We break down how these films were made, the creative risks that paid off or didn't, and the lasting impact they've had on the genre as a whole. From 70s slashers to modern nightmares, we celebrate the craft, chaos, and characters that keep us coming back. If you're the kind of fan who rewatches movies with the commentary on, or you simply grew up in the video store horror aisle, the Beyond the Blood podcast was made for you. New episodes every single week. Subscribe, let's dig deep. Welcome to the Beyond the Blood podcast.
Hello, my name is Kevin Tudor, and I'm one of the three hosts of Almost Major, a film podcast dissecting many major indie studios and the films they release. Every week, myself, Charlie Nash, and Bryden Doyle discuss overlooked, forgotten, or bona fide classic indie films via studio-specific miniseries. We've previously covered numerous films from Artisan Entertainment, Lionsgate Films, and New Line Cinema. Titles including The Blair Witch Project, American Psycho, Dogville, But I'm a Cheerleader, Saw, Requiem for a Dream, and Ringmaster, you know, the Jerry Springer film. Anyways, we have a fun time every week and we hope you will join us. Subscribe to Almost Major wherever you get your podcasts. Now proudly a part of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Weird Way Media.
Oh, I didn't see you there. Hi, who am I? Well, I'm Mike White. I'm the host. What is this? Well, it's Rankin Bass. Started as a joke. Now it's the podcast. Wow. Who else wants to do theirs?
I bet you're wondering.
You sit down while I tell you the hurly-burly, crazy curly story of Rankin Bass.
And I bet you're asking yourself how you got here and how I got here as well. Well, that'll all be answered in the next 45 to an hour-long episode of Rankin Bass, all on the stingiest man in town and the first snow, a Christmas story.
Yes.
The first
Christmas, the story
Christmas
of the first
snow.
Christmas snow.
My title was better.
It's such a confusing. First of all, it's not the first Christmas.
No.
It's not anybody's first Christmas.
It's his first Christmas blind, Richard.
Oh, well, they do go all the way back to
that would be the worst
biblical
title
times.
for a
Or is
children's-
that the stingiest? I think the stingiest man in town actually goes back to Jesus's birthday. And stuff,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Wow.
What's his name? What the blind kid? Is it Lucas or something? But it's like Lucas's first blind Christmas.
I
Yeah.
mean, better
It is
title than that.
Lucas.
Yeah, better title than that protracted nonsense we got instead.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, title aside. Okay, so stingiest man in town, eh?
Stingiest man in town. It's taken us this long to talk about Charles Dickens and his novella A Christmas Carol and Walter effing Matthau as Scrooge. Yes.
Felix, I'm gonna take your stocking and I'm gonna throw it out the window.
And Tom Bosley as B.A.H. Humbug Esquire. He has a legal degree. We've had
Bug with a legal degree,
we've
just
had
like Rudy Giuliani.
Bah humbug indeed.
We've had Bosley on here before, but not to this extent, and definitely not singing. So that was something. And, if you don't know the story of Ebenezer Scrooge, well, you're Scrooged. Sorry.
I love that, though. The I bet you're wondering who I am. It's like, no, I'm not wondering who the fuck you are. I know this story, and there was no bug.
Yes, there was a humbug.
I swear to God. Somebody in that writer's room was just like, humbug.
Hey,
Romeo Muller.
The writer's room being Romeo Muller's den, where
with a
he
joint,
wrote this.
with a fat spliff. Just
I wish we knew more about him.
Oh, come on. This is also credited to somebody named Janice Torre, who did a lot of TV writing as well. But yeah, this has got Romeo Muller all over it.
Okay, my hours of research suggests that this is based upon a 1956 British special called The Stingiest Man in Town, which of course is based on A Christmas Carol, but had songs. And so I think the other names involved outside of Romeo Muller are the people who wrote the songs. And I don't know for a fact, but from what I could figure, those people wrote the original show that aired on British television in 1956 and wrote the songs.
You're 100% correct, because she's credited as book. So like a play, like a musical, She wrote the book for this. Kind of like Elvis Costello.
Okay, so it was So it was based on a separate, different, which is a little bit strange. The only reason, because look, every adaptation of A Christmas Carol is it's an adaptation. It's not that hard. Romeo Muller could have done it on his own. The only reason he would depend on an existing production is for the music. So I'm assuming it was a musical. She wrote the book. The other person involved wrote the music and the songs, or maybe they both collaborated. I don't know, but they wanted those songs. And there's a lot of songs. There's a ton of songs.
Yeah. It's almost wall to wall. But I do have to say, I've watched this twice now, and my complaint when I'm talking about some of these musical specials that we're talking about, I don't remember the songs. But with this one, I remember some of these songs. And I was like, this is actually fairly decent. Some of the rhyme scheme works pretty well. I mean, you can see some of the rhymes coming a mile away, but it's like, yeah, these are actually effective songs. So I actually really didn't have any problems with this whatsoever. And if anything, I was really happy with the animation style for this one. I thought it fit very well. Kind of reminded me of that, Hobbit / 'Twas the Night Before Christmas style that we've seen.
Yeah.
Obviously makes sense because Masaki Izuka was the associate producer on here. So using the Japanese animation studios, that's great. And yeah, I actually really liked the voice cast, and I thought it was hilarious having Paul Frees as the Ghost of Christmas. What is it? Ghost of Christmas Present.
Yes.
I thought he did a really good job. And man, Walter Matthau. What's not to love about Walter Matthau?
That is true. And I thought Walter Matthau did a great job. I thought Tom Bosley, I think all the voice acting was pretty great, except for the boy at the end.
Tiny Tim or a different one?
No, the boy at the end where it's like, what day is it? Boy, what day is it? Why, today it's Christmas Day, and governor.
Right.
Except it wasn't that. The voice was this. Why, today it's Christmas Day. And then it's like, can you go buy that turkey? What, the one in the window? And I'm like, why is this voice so weird? And then I looked it up. The voice is Charles Matthau.
Right, the
Walter
son.
Matthau's son.
Oh, funny. Oh, we're friends on Facebook. I should have thrown him a message, be like, hey, what was it like recording that Rankin Bass special?
What day is it, boy? It's Christmas Day.
So I'm walking down the street the other day, and this window opens, and out of nowhere, this old guy sticks his head out the window and starts yelling at me, asking me what day it is. Like, check your fucking phone, would you?
Hey, dude, check your phone. Like, what am I, your assistant? Why don't you use AI to figure out what day it is?
He sends me all the way to the other block to buy this ginormous turkey and wants me to bring it to some guy named Cratchit. what the fuck is this? I'm not fucking Uber Eats, you know?
He said if I could do it in half an hour, he'd give me a shilling, but if I did it in 15 minutes, he'd give me half a crown.
Nice use of
Fucking great bit you two did, John. I just sat and listened. I just sat and listened.
We're going to do our own. The three of us should do a Christmas Carol, and we'll divide up the roles. It'll be great.
I'll play all the children characters. I could do a better line reading than that. You know, what day is it, boy? It's Christmas morning.
Oh, bless us, everyone. And Mary Lou Retton as Tiny Tim.
Whoa.
Mr. Scrooge, so do you have a blanket?
I mean, I don't know. My only issue with this is it's a Christmas Carol, and it's like the story that's been beaten to death a million times.
Oh, yeah.
Well, okay.
But you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but like, it's a Christmas Carol. Even with the music, like, you know what the beats are, you know what they're doing, and that's always the way it is because it's a Christmas Carol.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
There's
so
a fantastic edit that somebody did. I think it's called like 1,000 Ghosts or something like that, and it's all of these different versions of a Christmas Carol all cut together. So you're like, you know, a different Scrooge in every single shot almost, and it's animated, it's live action, it's movies, it's TV, it's even just references. It's really cool.
Well, now is the moment for me to say that A Christmas Carol is like, if not my favorite novel, it's in my top 3.
Wow.
I consider it a miracle of creation.
Wow.
It is. I think it will exist longer than any other piece of Western literature, including the canon of Shakespeare. I think it is sort of and I think it works and is a fable, which is why it continues to beguile in every country on earth. And it will exist long after we are all dead and replaced by the lizard people. They will be doing A Christmas Carol. Now, having said that, the first movie I ever saw in my life in the theater was Scrooge with Albert Finney.
Oh,
so it was that one. Okay. So everyone has their favorite. Some people are like, oh, Alistair Sim. Oh, I love George C. Scott. Well, for me, it's Scrooge. It's Albert Finney, and it's the musical, and it's those songs. So for me, that's always the bar. Now, I know that's very personal, and it's, you know, there's a lot of my personality and my sort of, you know, that is my foundational text for all of Christmas is Scrooge. I came to that first, obviously, before I ever knew a book existed. So everything compares to that. Yeah. No. Is this that for me? No. Do they do the story justice? I think they do. I think they do a good job and a better job than a lot of other ones do. I think I'm with Mike. I think I feel like the music's pretty good. Personally, I don't remember a lot of tunes, but that's okay. I didn't mind any of them. I thought the performances were nice. It's funny you mentioned the animation. The only thing I regretted and thought about while I was watching was I wish it was animagic. I wish we were watching those 3-dimensional, you know, little creatures doing their thing. But there's so many human characters. I think it would have been tough. So
yeah, I mean, obviously, animagic tops it all for me, and that's so what, you know. Obviously, through this entire show, which we're getting ready to wrap here in a couple episodes, but yeah, animagic is what we fell in love with. That's the reason why all of these specials have stuck around, and that's probably, well, with the exception of some, and we'll get there. But you know, something like this.
How dare you?
Something like this is something I've never actually seen before. Like when we covered 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, it's like, oh yeah, I used to watch this on TV all the time. Used to see, you know, all the animagic stuff like the Rudolph and Rudolph's Shiny New Year, even some of the animated stuff like the Frosty stuff. It's like, okay, I saw these things when I was growing up. I never saw this Stingiest Man in Town until now.
And I don't know why. I mean, obviously there's the ones on the hill, A Charlie Brown Christmas, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I mean, there's the Mount Rushmore of kids' Christmas specials. But then there's a lot of others. I mean, the Mr. Magoo one, man, that one has somehow remained and is durable and shows up. And I don't love it, but this one feels perfectly acceptable. If you're just looking for Christmas programming, why not toss on the Stingiest Man in town?
Right.
At least you've got Walter Matthau and Tom Bosley. If nothing else, you can lead with that.
I will say, in terms of the animated Rankin and Bass things that we've seen that are Christmas based, this might be the best animated Christmas thing we've seen, because it holds together better than Frosty does. I mean, Frosty for me was fine. Jackie Vernon's voice, I think, is the standout. But this, I mean, again, for all of this just being a Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
A Christmas Carol is still, like you said, Richard, I mean, it's a fantastic story. I mean, there's a reason it's been adapted as many times as it has. It's not because it's a story that doesn't have a timelessness to it, because it does. And it can be adapted a million different ways. To the point where I'm pretty sure, if not this year or last year, there was a like horror action version of A Christmas Carol that came out. I'm pretty sure.
You know, I don't know about that. I ended up seeing a stage production here in Los Angeles at the Amundsen, which is one of the big, the big sort of playhouses in downtown LA. And it was a new version, and it was sort of it was weird. They rewrote the whole thing. They were adding tons of material that was not ever a part of anything you've ever seen. And I'm kind of like, who was asking for this? And what it did was it illustrated why things were left out of the original. Because there are questions you have. When you're watching A Christmas Carol, you do wonder, well, what was his childhood like? Like, why is Scrooge like this? What the hell happened? Well, this particular production endeavored to answer all that. And then you realize, okay, not only are these answers unsatisfying and no fun, I withdraw the question.
Who directed
because you don't
that? Was
need
it
to
Rob
know.
Zombie?
What?
Was it Rob Zombie that wrote that one?
No. This wasn't like an extreme genre version. This was like a new stage production.
Right. I'm just saying that he gave us all of this information about Michael Myers we never wanted or needed. Sounds like we're doing the exact same thing with Scrooge here.
I don't know. I loved watching Michael Myers being abused by William Forsythe as his father. What are you talking about? The version of A Christmas Carol that I was talking about was from the BBC in 2019, and it had Guy Pearce playing Ebenezer Scrooge and Andy Serkis as the Ghost of Christmas Past, which I'm already through the door on that one. So,
yeah.
And then Jason Fleming as the Ghost of Christmas Future. So again, some pretty big names.
Good ones. I like him. I like him a lot. For me, I grew up, the one that I liked the most, and I know this is cheesy as hell, was An American Christmas Carol with Henry Winkler as Scrooge.
Okay. I can't
really like that.
Look, that one's got the Fonz. This one has Mr. Cunningham, whatever.
It's nice that Tom Bosley's not playing a drunk dope, because I believe that was the last time we saw him. Mike was on an episode of Night Gallery where he was just, I'm just a dope and I need the money and I'm drunk. What was that? What was that episode where he just like, was it where he gave someone his eyes? Where he was giving someone his eyeballs for money.
Well, that wasn't that the very first one? That was the one, because it was Joan Crawford buying his eyes.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. Directed by that Spielberg fella.
Yeah. Oh, God, I totally forgot about that guy. Whatever happened with him?
I don't know.
Huh.
Wasn't that one called The World Through Tom Bosley's Eyes?
Looking through Tom Bosley's eyes. Yeah, there was a whole song about it. It was great.
Everybody was doing the Boz there for a while. It was crazy.
Yeah, stumbling around without their eyes and just saying, oh, I'm a horrible, afflicted alcoholic and gambling addict.
Yeah, he can be charming when he wants to be, Tom Bosley, but he can also play that sullen dope really well. So,
well, I don't think he's known for the sullen dope in Night Gallery as much as he's known for America's Favorite Dad, Missed the Sea.
Oh, yeah.
In Happy Days.
And for selling the world Glad trash bags.
Yeah, right? Well, look, there was a time when you had character actors, and he was one of them. And he was one of the great ones. So we loved him.
Little trivia about Tom Bosley that I'm sure you already know, Richard, was the character Bosley in Charlie's Angels was originally supposed to be played by Tom Bosley. He was going to have a different name. And then when he couldn't make it, they just called the character Bosley and then cast that gravelly voiced guy.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that. Good for him. He got called out.
We also saw him in Kolchak the Night Stalker, lest we forget, he was in the episode The Sentry. So the last broadcast episode of Kolchak, the one with the lizard man down below. So you were already talking about lizard people, Richard. Were you just
Right.
kind of channeling that?
I forget. I've seen that episode a couple times. It's not my number one episode of Night Stalker,
No.
but I forget what he played. I guess he was sort of like, he had to be an engineer. That's all there was in the episode, where people building that underground storage chamber where where they somehow bothered the subterranean reptile creature.
As opposed to where they were building that thing and Manito came out and tried to kill everybody.
Yeah, maybe people should stop building shit.
Yeah.
Stop interacting with the environment and see if the creatures don't come and kill you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find which other thing that he did with Rankin Bass, because I said before that he has worked with them. I know we're going to talk about him when it comes to Pinocchio. Maybe it's that. Oh, he was in a different Pinocchio. Whoa, Tom Bosley was in something from 1987 called Pinocchio and the Emperor of the Night.
Damn. You think that Emperor of the Night forces Pinocchio to lie over and over again?
Maybe. It's kind of like a
Okay.
sex machine.
You know what?
Yeah. Tell
This
me a
is
lie.
about Rankin and Bass. This is a Christmas special. We don't need a lot of filthy gutter talk.
Just wait till your father comes up.
Oh, there you go. Nice. That's
you.
what he was.
Yeah.
I used to watch that.
I thinking on it now, I agree with you, Richard. I don't really remember any songs from this other than The Stingiest Man in Town, primarily because that's also the name of this. So maybe that's why it's stuck in my mind. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like when the bar was raised as high as it was with Frosty and Rudolph and Rudolph, the music from Rudolph, not just Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, but, we're just a couple of misfits. Like that's that doesn't go anywhere. And it's like nothing has really lived up to it since.
No.
And it's Christmas too. That's the problem. Anytime it's a Christmas thing, it's almost going to get compared to it every time.
Look, when you're working in this industry, you're working. And if one or two of their things, or one and a half, I would say more than that. I'd say, a solid half dozen become classics. You have more than earned your time on Earth.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Rudolph alone, right?
Right. Oh, yeah.
So the fact that they did, 100 things and not all 100 of them have, Heat Miser and Snow Miser level characters and songs, it's unfortunate, but it's not hard to understand. They lightning struck half a dozen times. Good enough for me.
Oh, yeah.
And this one's serviceable. I mean, again, this is when look, people want Christmas programming. Lifetime and Hallmark, they're making 50, 60 movies a year. Just new romantic comedies about people falling in love at Christmas time when they go back to their hometown and meet up with the guy they didn't go to the prom with or whatever. And people just want that stuff around for about a month between Thanksgiving and December the 25th. And I think this is worthy of playing silently on a TV screen while you're hosting a Christmas vaping party.
Well, there was one song that I loved, which was something about like leave Christmas until Christmas. And it was
Leave
like,
a little Christmas for Christmas, but
leave
you're
a little
thinking
Christmas.
of,
Yes.
no, that's the next one.
Oh, that's the next one.
Leave a little Christmas for Christmas.
Oh,
Also
That's
known
during
as
the first Christmas snow for the blind kid who's the shepherd.
yeah.
Save a little
Yeah,
Christmas for Christmas. Stop your war on Christmas is then the next line of that song.
Oh, right. Yeah. I thought the wars were over, but I hear there's a whole new thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Something to do with Lebanon, Richard. So be
Why don't you
careful.
take it easy? Come on, people are trying to have a good time. Oh, ma.
So yeah, let's talk about this thing with the worst title. I think of maybe everything. Like this has a Flight of Dragons beat. So we want to talk about from 1975, The First Christmas, the story of the first Christmas snow.
Well, these are both lies.
The first Christmas my first colonoscopy on Christmas. I actually thought you were going to say, Mike, it has not only the worst title, it also has the worst poster slash box art slash.
Oh, yeah.
It's CGI for some reason, but it's not CGI. It's a monstrosity.
And he just looks like a dope.
Oh my God. I'm going to jump out ahead
stoned.
I'm going to jump out ahead of
Because he's
this.
blind. I'm like, I'm just kidding. No, his eyes, right? They couldn't do the blind thing at all. It's real
and
bad.
he just is kind of like looking off into space, and you don't know that this character is blind. So if you just look at this cold, you're like, what is this guy's problem?
But you're talking about the poster or the ad in the newspaper, right?
I'm talking about the DVD cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't seen the DVD cover. I'm blind.
Well, if you can go to
Jesus
Wikipedia,
Christ.
it's sitting right there.
Okay.
God.
Well, okay. Home entertainment packaging notwithstanding, I'm not going to say this is great because it is not, but I will say I liked it.
Yeah.
And I did not, it was not excruciating to watch. I've got my complaints or my observations about it, but I think this is a perfectly sweet, good-hearted little special that might entertain a child and might definitely not annoy or offend an adult who likes nuns.
Yeah. I really didn't mind this. I had a better time watching it the second time because I watched a little bit of a cleaner version. And that really helped because this is going back to Animagic. So that's what I want to see. I want to see this stuff. I mean, I think the story could have been stronger.
Yes.
It runs at a pretty good length. I think some of the action is a little unmotivated, especially these bullies who suddenly become not bullies. The reason why they're bullying him doesn't really make a whole lot of sense other than that he's different. He's this blind shepherd kid. Okay, I guess, kids are dicks. All right. But then it's suddenly like, oh yeah, no, we changed our mind about you. You're okay. And there wasn't like an incident that really spurred that on. Like,
right.
You didn't guide Santa's sleigh. Like we've seen this whole bully thing happen before, but he doesn't guide Santa's sleigh,
What with like, if you look at something like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, there's stuff that happens in the beginning that runs through to the end. So there is an overarching story that takes you through the whole thing and you know where you're going and what every character's goal is at all times. This is more episodic. This is more, this happened, then another thing happened, then something else happened, and then another thing happened, and then several of those things become resolved and it ends. But there's nothing is asserted in the first 5 or 10 minutes that tells us, okay, so here's the question we need to answer, or here's the issue that must be resolved. And then at the end, it gets resolved. It's simply, here's the young boy, he's a shepherd, a tragic accident, he's struck by lightning, it blinds him. He is taken in by nuns. It looks like he may not be able to stay. Some other stuff happens. He meets some other kids. He's very good-hearted. He's not feeling sorry for himself. He seems to be adjusting. And then, like you said, a trick gets played. Some kids come along and go, and it's so funny. It's like they bend over backwards to sort of indicate these aren't bad kids. It's like, hey guys, want to play a trick on him? Besides, and no one will get hurt, and it'll just be for a laugh, and nothing bad will happen, but let's just do it anyway. So it's like, okay, whatever. So they move his sheep from one place to another, but then the sheep escape. They must be rescued. There are wolves. Again, for a 6-year-old, there's probably enough going on with other children to keep you occupied and get you through to the end. There is a very warm-hearted ending that is not really thematically predicted.
Saccharine.
But let's just say
saccharine.
Everything works out for this kid. So you come to the end. I don't know. When you're my age, you're like, okay, thank God. Is the kid okay? Just please. I can't take any more pain.
Why would you take the blind kid and put him down that pit to save that poor sheep?
Well, because the sheep isn't going to trust anyone else. He knows how a blind kid smells. My problem was, I'm watching that scene, and in my mind, I'm doing this whole other thing where I'm like, really, a human chain? How about this? Before we get in the hole, why don't all three of us jump up into your arms and let's see if one of us can hold the other three. Okay, let's see if that works. Okay, now add a sheep. Did it work? I didn't think so. Okay, we got a problem. The human chain never works. As a device, it never works. But as a demonstration of the ultimate goodness of the quote unquote bad kids and all of them working together to save a sheep, I'll take it. It's Christmas.
Yeah, this was very inoffensive to me. I liked hearing Angela Lansbury. I liked hearing her sing. I liked the little cute friendship that he forms with the girl who's also an angel, not literally. Yeah, the songs weren't too bad. I thought actually of all the songs, White Christmas kind of sticks out like a sore thumb because it's so known and none of the other ones are. But it's just like, whoa, where'd this one come from? And I know it said at the very beginning, what's White Christmas by Irving Berlin? But it was just kind of took me back a little. But yeah, I thought that this was serviceable and something that, again, don't really see this one played a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
It played first in 1975. I was only 3 years old, so I definitely should have seen this in years subsequent to it.
Yeah, and I never saw it. And it's funny in the big book of Rankin and Bass that we all hold in our hands and close to our hearts at this time of year. It has a picture I'm going to show you of a really amazing ad that ran in Variety that year. Let me show it to you. It is this thing right here. And it's Christmas season, mid-70s. It doesn't say what year, but if you can sort of see it, it's like, okay,
Rudolph,
here are
Santa
all
Claus.
the specials, and here's the night they're going to air. And it's like Rudolph, Frosty, Year Without a Santa Claus.
Was the night before Christmas?
It was the night before Christmas. And it's just like December 3rd, December 9th, December 12th, December 19th, December 20th. It's just like, and then it was probably 75 because I think it's the premiere, it says at the bottom.
Right.
Yeah. The premiere of the first Christmas.
Yep. Friday, December 19th. Yep.
And I look at that and I'm like, God, 1975 was sort of like the apex of what they were doing in terms of Christmas specials. And that would have been an amazing year and I'm sure I watched most of these things. And then for whatever reason, didn't watch this one because I don't know, maybe I was busy that night or there was something else going on. And it was sort of like, what is this? This looks old fashioned. I don't see anyone dressed like an elf. I'm out.
Right.
I think for me, that is where this does kind of hit a strange stumbling block, is the inspecific timing and theming that seems so weird for Rankin and Bass.
I can definitely see that.
You know what I mean? It's like there's been nothing else like this. And it's so, I mean, there is a Catholic priest puppet in this special. There are nuns in this special. It's such an odd, it's such an odd story and such an odd setting. And it's like, it's a little boy who got hit by lightning and he goes blind.
Well, okay, but I will say this. I would rather, in a way, for whatever reason, The Little Drummer Boy was something that came up every year. And I think I watched it every year. It felt like it wasn't top ranking on Bass, but it was in there and it was on every year and we watched it.
Yeah.
That thing is fucking depressing and disturbing. This, at least, I mean, it's horror. Like if I was a kid and it was about a kid that went blind, I would be worried. But the fact that, spoiler alert, 50 years later, the kid regains his sight would be great. I think I would have enjoyed watching this one repeatedly more than I ever enjoyed The Little Drummer Boy, which was pretty brutal. And,
pretty brutal. Really racist. Yeah.
Well, look, I'm Arabic, so I don't.
boy.
It's like, of course they're making fun of us.
Yeah.
I think you should make fun of Arabs. I think it's okay. I think it's still the one that's still okay. I figured, what the hell?
I thought it was Italians were okay to make fun of.
That's true. I'm pretty sure
we're basically we wish we were Italian.
Oh yeah. You're swarthy enough. Yeah.
I'm Italian. Sure. With the last name Hatem?
we like the Mediterranean food. Yeah.
Hummus for everyone.
Opa. Yeah.
I will say the best part about the special is Angela Lansbury. I think without a doubt. Almost so much so that it sticks out. And I kind of wish she was in this one and in another one where it wasn't deathly obvious that she's the best part of it.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because even if you don't know who she is, just the authority of her voice and the sort of steadying quality it gives to the entire production. And I think he's really good too. I like him too. So they are, and they're nice characters, and there's never, you know what I like about this is there actually isn't a lot of just sort of, let's make one character a real asshole.
Right.
Even the boys that play the trick never really come across as aggressively bad and that need to be punished or something. It's not, it's not the kid from A Christmas Story.
Right.
Who you're happy to see get his face punched. These are just kids who are like, hey, let's play a joke. Okay, that was ill-advised. Whatever.
Ill-advised. That's a nice way of putting it. Yeah, there's a lack of maliciousness in this. I don't know. This feels just very quaint and cute. I would say that this is cute and cutesy. Yeah. I don't know. It's overtly cutesy. And then, the little blind child puppet is just...
Well, the kid who voices it is great.
Yeah.
That kid is great. I think the voice acting...
The puppet is hard to get around, though. It looks really silly.
What, do you wish there were just like X's drawn?
I don't know what I wish, but I wish it was better than what they did, where it's just, just kind of the eyes just chameleoning for no reason. It's like, that's not how blind people are like.
What are they going to do?
Not have it be about a kid who's blind. I mean, I feel like that's the easy answer.
He's gotta be blind. There's
against
no
blind
miracle
people?
at the end.
No.
God,
I just don't understand what him being blind added to any of the proceedings here.
You don't believe in Christmas.
Is it Christmas or is it Jesus?
You believe in spontaneous healing.
Is it Christmas or Jesus?
There's a lot of Jesus in this one.
Yeah, like that's what I don't understand.
Is it Christmas or Jesus? It's the same thing.
But that's the thing, though. Rankin and Bass, for a lot of the time, made Christmas as non-Jesus-y as possible. And now it's like they're, again, like whatever your feelings are on Jesus and Christianity aside, like it's weird that they're like, nah, we need to do a couple religious things. It's like even Little Drummer Boy, I get because it's the song. This is like a whole cloth thing of like, we want to have a miracle at the end, and it ain't Santa Claus performing the miracle. That's all I'm saying.
Well, there's always been, and Rankin and Bass, look, they checked in with Little Drummer Boy, and in this one, there's a Christmas pageant, and they recreate the manger scene, and they do that thing. But here's what I found weird was in the last one, in The Stingiest Man in Town, they do a whole song about basically the Christian origin of the story of the birth of Jesus, which has never been a part of A Christmas Carol. I'm not the first to say that culturally Christmas has meant different things to different people in different cultures at different times over the course of many hundreds of years.
I can't take this liberal agenda.
Yeah, I know. This is too fucking woke for me. I'm tuning out.
Liberal. I'm ready to, I'm leaning far right on this.
Yeah, he's leaning he's leaning far right.
Oh, I'm putting the war on Christmas. Okay, good. Tell me about the war, Daddy.
I'm putting the Christ back up in this Christmas.
Stuff it back in there. 5 fingers.
So yeah, and much has been written about A Christmas Carol being sort of a celebration of the secularization of Christmas, and also like, well, was Christmas a big deal in London when he wrote this? And it sort of was, but Christmas has gone in and out of favor over the years, depending on where you are and what's going on. What's interesting about the first special we talked about, Stingiest Man in Town, is that it was sort of produced by the Japanese studios that they worked with that did a lot of their specials. And so because A Christmas Carol has international appeal, it aired on Christmas Eve in Japan. Mm-hmm. And so there are people who celebrate Christmas.
Get your KFC and then come back and have that. Yeah,
that's right. Biscuits and gravy and your Stingiest Man in Town.
Okay. Do you want to hear my theory about A Christmas Carol?
Sure.
Okay. A Christmas Carol, I believe, is structured on a near-death experience. It has all of the steps of the near-death experience. Basically Scrooge goes through, a life review. He goes through a dark night of the soul. He is met by spiritual beings. He travels with them. He leaves his body and flies through the air. If you look at the stages of a near-death experience or the sort of common elements that show up time after time, every single one of them is represented in A Christmas Carol, including being dead, Ghost of Christmas Future, coming back to life and coming back to life transformed, which people who have near-death experiences do come back transformed. And he comes back transformed and he lives his life in a very, very different way, which many people who have near-death experiences do. I think this is why the story has international appeal, because it speaks to a psychological journey that we are intuitively in touch with, whether we have experienced it ourselves or not. It plays in all cultures and has played since the very instant it was written. It was a phenomenon within a month of its publication.
I really like that.
Makes sense.
Yeah, makes total sense.
I thought you were going to go the biblical road and be like, it's the tree. It's three.
Oh.
I mean,
Who do you think you're talking to?
yeah, that's fair. I think it was weird in The Stingiest Man to have biblical stuff, but here it felt like if they were going to do it, they're going to do it here. And they're, again, because on top of everything else, he's a shepherd, for fuck's sake. Like,
right.
Maybe a little on the nose, methinks, but I don't know. I would not watch this or Little Drummer Boy again, not because it's the religious stuff.
Okay.
There's a quaintness and a cutesiness to this that Rankin and Bass normally doesn't bombard you with, and this is cutesiness to kind of a unnecessary degree, at least for me.
Okay, well, but let me ask you, gun to your head, which is how we should all
Jesus
watch Christmas
Christ.
specials. Gun to your head, do you watch this or Little Drummer Boy?
This.
Little Drummer Boy.
Wow.
I think my justification is that's
Stachiw.
that's a song that is a well-known Christmas song, and I think that story is if you're asking a question like what is the Little Drummer Boy, that answers that question in a satisfying way. This just goes, here's some blind kid with a dog. He had Christmas one year, could see. In between the next two Christmases, he went blind and then could see again.
Yeah.
That's it.
I know.
Yeah. I struggle to understand what the idea of him being blind was about, because again, like Mike, you've mentioned, we have seen all these Rankin and Bass things, at least not all of them, but a fair number of them go, you are different because of your nose. But that at the end of Rudolph is not brown-nosed then. Frosty doesn't stick around all the time. Like, this kid gets his sight back. Right. It's almost antithetical to Rankin and Bass and the normal way that they tell the story. The strength of the character is in them being different. And this is like, no. It's fine. We fixed it. You cried on Christmas and your tears cured your blindness.
Well, all of your complaints are legit because this is not structured in a way where the ending feels like it answers questions that were posed at the beginning. Did he have a lack of faith? Did he not believe enough? And Angela Lansbury told him to believe, and then he didn't. Then he did because he had to go. Like, I could, again, I know I say this on every fucking special, but give me a fucking afternoon and I could rewrite this and it'd be a fucking classic. Good night, everybody. WGA strong. That having been said,
are you saying that an AI wrote this first?
No, I'm just saying it's written in an odd way that where no one went that extra mile.
Well, yeah, but we don't even see our main character. Our main character isn't our main character. Our main character is Angela Lansbury, and this guy's just kind of there for show.
Well, no, that's our biggest star, but she doesn't even have a story.
No, she doesn't.
She paints Christmas cards. I mean, here's the thing. This is one of those things where the sum of the parts doesn't exceed the whole, but the parts are fun enough that you sort of go, you know what? I can hang with this long enough to get through 26 minutes. And again, it's good-hearted. It doesn't go into the dark places that Little Drummer Boy does for good reason. It's telling its own story and it resolves in a nice way. But it's a bitter bitter journey. This, at least, once you've seen it, and it's funny, you say watching it twice, I think I would like it even more the second time, and probably even more every other time, because when a story doesn't follow a strong structure, it's disappointing the first time, but then after that, now that you know it doesn't, now you just sit back and enjoy the details. And I think I would, gun to my head, choose to watch this special again rather than Little Drummer Boy.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of that song, of the Little Drummer Boy song.
Fair.
It gets a little repetitive after a while.
And you hate Middle Eastern people. I know that about you.
Well, there is that too.
Mr.
Yeah.
White.
That's right.
I will say the other problem with this that Little Drummer Boy doesn't have. Little Drummer Boy is written by Romeo Muller. This is written by Julian P. Gardner, who, if you know who that is, that's just Jules Bass. AKA my fucking pseudonym. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that shit.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that, I don't know. I have not been impressed when it's anybody other than Romeo Muller either. I think Romeo Muller really brings something to all of the things that he has worked on for Rankin and Bass that they were lacking when he's not there. There's a charm that Romeo Muller has. There's just some charm that he has that nobody else is able to replicate. Also, where's Paul Frees in all of this? Just asking again. Where's Paul? He was in the last one. Could have been used here.
Right.
I was just very happy that Don Messick was in the cast doing Waggles. Mostly, I'm sure everybody knows Don Messick did a shit ton of voices, especially Scooby-Doo.
Right. He's your go-to dog guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Romeo Muller, wait, how do I phrase this? Like, most of the best ones have Romeo Muller, but not all Romeo Mullers are great.
Right. Oh, yeah.
But the great
Agreed.
ones are Romeo Muller ones.
Yeah. And more than likely music done by Maury Laws, which this did have, to be fair.
Yeah.
Wow. I forgot how many things Don Messick has done with Rankin Bass. Of course, he was the voice of Toto in one of those Oz things that we watched before. Return of the King, he was 3 voices, including the mouth of Sauron. Flight of Dragons, he was also in that. Last Unicorn. Yeah. And I think, that's it. So some really good ones. Yeah. Oh, and I'm sorry, Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July. He was Sam Spangles.
Sam Spangles. Character no one can forget except for me.
And me.
Because I don't know what that is.
I feel like of all the Christmas things that we've seen, this feels like the most reaching too. Like, it feels like they're out of ideas. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it just feels like this is just kind of like, take it or leave it. We have all the classics and then this thing. Like, it's never going to be a classic. There's not a classic character that comes out of this. No one is going, I loved Lucas, the blind young shepherd. Like, there's no Frosty, there's no Rudolph. And I'm not saying you have to Ewokify everything and make it into a purchasable product. But when it's a holiday like fucking Christmas, it really helps. It helps. Right. He says when he has a Bumble bobblehead from Dollar Tree on his desk, like, and other things from Rankin on Bass that Mike got me for my birthday. Like,
and The Year Without the Santa Claus is not based on anything at all.
Nope.
But it has classic stuff that everyone remembers. Heat Miser, Snow Miser.
The Santa Claus. That's it. The entry point is Santa Claus. That's it.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the one that is, I guess, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, which is the story of Santa Claus,
right.
Where
Mickey Rooney Santa Claus.
Right.
Mickey Rooney Santa Claus.
What's that you say? You've never heard the origin of Santa Claus?
Well, I'm Fred Astaire. Let me tell you a story.
I'm not dropping off letters. Yeah.
Letters to Santa. Sure, I do that.
I'm the groundhog. What was that one? Well, what the hell was where was the groundhog?
Was that the leprechaun? That was the leprechaun one. And wasn't that like,
no.
Oh God, leprechaun Christmas gold? So it was like trying to mix all of it together.
No,
You've never heard of the Christmas gold?
No, the groundhog. The groundhog was Jack Frost.
Was the groundhog? Oh, yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the little guy from The Music Man, Buddy Hackett. Wasn't he the voice of?
Yes, I think so.
Oh, God.
Art Carney was the voice of the leprechaun in the Leprechaun's Christmas
Oh,
Gold.
boy. What's that? You never heard the story of the Leprechaun's Christmas
Right,
Gold?
Blarney Killarney.
I heard the story of the Leprechaun's Christmas one, Buddy Hackett. I'll tell you the story right now.
That was good.
That was
good.
Yeah, God. Yeah,
Huh.
this, I don't know, like, what's weird is, given that we're like so close to the end of the show now, this had to move the needle a lot. And it was just like, I
Right.
watched it twice and I was like, okay. Jules
Yeah.
Bass tried his hardest to make his own Christmas special that was memorable. And hey, man, you're part of Rankin and Bass. You're one of the names. Isn't that good enough? I mean, I get it. I understand it. As a creative, as someone who wants to create, you don't want to be the guy who just facilitates everybody else making nice things and fun things and exciting things. But
Yeah.
sometimes it's easier to be that guy because you never have to worry about the failures that you might incur, such as this, which is, again, fine, but it's not seared into the cultural zeitgeist like Frosty and Rudolph and so many of those other things are.
Well, I would say, though, I mean, I guess it sort of comes down to, okay, for people who have never seen these things, should they try to see them? And I would say, yeah, go check them out. Just check them out. Maybe they'll become your favorite thing ever. Maybe you'll just add them to the, pile of Rankin and Bass specials. But check them out, see if you like them. They're worth at least a single viewing to evaluate, I would say.
Yeah, I'd concur. There have been worse ways to spend your time, and definitely worse things that we've seen on this program. But yeah, I think these are pretty innocuous.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a completionist and you really want to see everything, there you go. It's in some box sets. I know it's out there. I know you can buy it. So it's not like it's lost like some of the other things we've talked about or some of the things that we have yet to talk about.
What do we have yet to talk about?
Well, dun, dun, dun. Be sure to subscribe to us on your favorite platform. We will be back next month with a look at Rankin and Bass's Santa Baby, as well as an afternoon of the comic strip, which was a 4-program series, 4 cartoons that were all bundled together called the comic strip. So looking forward to that. Until then, Richard, what are you working on these days?
Well, I'm no longer on strike. I'm just unemployed.
Dun, 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 dun. Anything else?
As for me, you can find me over at weirdingwaymedia.com, where, because Richard doesn't want to plug anything of his own, he could plug his wife's fantastic podcast, 80s TV Ladies, but I'll do it for him because it's a fantastic show that you should be checking out right now. Because if you're into 80s TV with ladies, you should be listening to other ladies talking about it. Hey, ladies! Yep, 80stvladies.com is where you can find them. But you can find this show and all those other shows, including Scary Stories We Tell, Night Mr. Walters, and Noise Junkies, and The Projection Booth over weirdingwaymedia.com. What about you, Mike White? Where are you right now?
Right now I'm in the basement. And
Kinky.
yeah. Ooh.
You said basement, not dungeon.
That's true. Yeah, the St. Andrew's cross hasn't been up for quite a few years. I used to just, all my dirty laundry would end up on it. So spanking bench, really good place for towels, that kind of stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah, so same as you, weirdingwaymedia.com. You can find all the stuff that I work on over there. Thank you so much, guys, for talking about Rankin and Bass. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. I want to thank Abby Stabby for our artwork, as well as the Great Octopus for our theme music. Until we come back next month, be sure to rate and review this podcast wherever you get it. Tell your friends, tell your family, and please stay weird.
Hello, this is Chris Haskell from They Live by Film. For those that don't know us, Adam, Zach, and we built a podcast over the last 2 years that's a combination of film discussion from 3 very different perspectives, as well as industry interviews with the leaders in boutique Blu-ray and 4K community. We started with Deaf Crocodile, but over time we've been lucky enough to speak with Arrow Video, Severin, Mondo Macabro, Vinegar Syndrome, Radiance, Indicator, most of the OCN partner labels. It's been a blast. You can find us wherever you podcast, and also actually recently as part of Someone's Favorite Production Podcast Network. We hope to see you online.